Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to walk you through on setting up a solid wood multi-piece door with a couple of different inset panels such as glass panels or raised panels. Setting up this door consists of a couple of steps that we're going to be going through, such as setting up a material schedule, the door itself, as well as the tool set needed to cut out for the glass panel. Following, we'll be going through step 1, material schedules. Material schedules, I'm going to go quickly to doors, and here I'm going to set up a new schedule. I'm just going to call this solid wood multi-piece door, and I can just make the description the same. For this material schedule, I will be using a natural oak 16mm as my base for my material schedule, and under edging I'll just have natural oak edging. Under the panel, it's very important that you make sure that you have your correct materials assigned for your glass panel and your raised panels and such. For instance, for my raised panel, I will be using a natural oak 22mm, and then for my glass panel, I'm just going to go ahead and use a glass 16mm. With this door, it's incredibly important that you select this MDF glass panel and routed door. Otherwise, this door will not work and it'll still come through as a multi-piece door, not a solid wood door. Once that's done, I can go out and I can go to my next step, setting up my toolpath profile for my glass cutouts. For step 2, we're going to go into our tool catalogs, and here we're going to set up a tool set. Under tool sets, I'm just going to create a new one, and I'm going to call this solid wood glass cutout. And I'm going to make sure to set this as a tool set. In this tool set now, I can go and say here, I don't need it for outside edge or inside edge or raised panel detail. I'm going to be using it as a route to cut out my glass for the back. On this as well, I need to make sure that we go and set up a cut for glass doors tool to be used when we go in there. For instance, with my rabbet width, I'm just going to say I wanted 4mm, rabbet depth also 4mm, and then which route are we going to use for the back? I'm just going to use this 6mm. Once that's done, I can go into edit shape. Here I can go and set up where my tools cut. So I can go and say I want a new tool. I want also the 6mm router. You'll see it places there according to where I place it there. And then I can go and give it another offset or a depth. So I will be giving it a depth of 12mm, drop offset 0. And now if you see here by cut for glass, if I switch that on, it brings in my cut for glass tool at the back. On this as well, I can just go and say there it is a fixed depth. This tool set, I can now go close and I can save it. This and the material schedule will now be assigned on the door that we're going to be using to create our final product. Step 3, setting up the door. Here we're going to do two things. First off, we're going to be going to utilities, tool association, and here we're going to set up which tools gets used for what. So under, we'll see there's a raised panel detail that also gets set up under the tool sets, and there I'll say just for glass it's solid wood glass cutout and raised panel detail. And then under the solid wood glass cutout tool, I'll say under glass solid wood glass, and under raised panel detail. This is relatively important, otherwise it might not work correctly. Once that's done, I can now go and set up my new door under the folder that I needed. So this one I will just call solid wood door, make my description the same and set it up as a multi-piece. In this now, I can set up my first type as a glass panel inset 0, as that will come from my tool set, and then my frame styles I can set up as I need it to be. can say finish. After that, I can go back into my door and I can set up my default starting materials. So I will be using my solid wood multi-piece door. My raised panel detail will be my raised panel detail, and my root path profile will be my solid wood glass cutout. Once I'm done with that, I can go into design here, do section, and here I can go and further modify my door. I can go and add splits if I need to, and I can then change these sections to what I need it to be. For the bottom, I'm going to set that up as a raised panel, and I can also now go and do this. I can take this one, right click and tell it it's a arch, and this one as well. Once that's done, I can go into 3D view and I can go and demo on how I want this to look. Just make sure that you set up your root here and your raised panel as well, giving you an idea of how the door is going to look. Once I'm happy with that, I can go out and save it. Once I'm happy with that, I can move on to step 4, just the final steps that we can do in the job level. Once inside my job, I can now go and place my cabinet, and my doors will look like this. With this, I can still go to section, right click, properties, section door, and here I can modify it further. For instance, I can delete that, add a split there, and a split there, setting these two to glass and these two to raised panels. Once I'm happy with my changes, and I can also change the dimensions of this. Once I'm happy with that, I can go and say OK, and then my door will look like that. 2 glass panels on the top and 2 raised panels on the bottom.